On January 3, 2026, the world awoke to shocking news. The U.S. had launched a covert operation in Caracas, targeting President Nicolás Maduro, codenamed Absolute Resolve. The mission aimed to capture a sitting head of state. U.S. forces stormed Fuerte Tiuna, Venezuela's most fortified base, where Maduro and his wife were hiding. President Trump called it a necessary step to liberate Venezuela. The world watched as the U.S. redrew Latin America's political map overnight. The consequences remain uncertain. The attack began before dawn, with Caracas rocked by the roar of over 150 U.S. aircraft, stealth bombers, fighter jets, and drones. The first wave destroyed Venezuela's air defenses, blinding the military and clearing the way for the main assault. Delta Force commandos stormed Fuerte Tiuna under heavy fire from Maduro's elite security, including Cuban advisors. The fighting was fierce, but brief. U.S. forces, with superior training and surprise, overwhelmed the defenders in under 30 minutes. Dozens of Maduro's guards, including 32 Cuban officers, were killed. The U.S. reported no fatalities, only minor injuries. The raid left Fuerte Tiuna scarred by explosions and gunfire, a clear demonstration of American military dominance. The operation dismantled Maduro's protective guard and struck at the heart of Venezuela's military power. By sunrise, the U.S. had seized control, sending a powerful message to any remaining loyalists. The world now knew who was in command. Inside the battered compound, Delta Force quickly seized Maduro and Celia Flores with little resistance. The couple was secured and rushed to a waiting aircraft, extracted from Caracas to the USS Iwo Jima in the Caribbean. There, they were transferred to a military transport and flown directly to New York City. Maduro's fall from power was swift and absolute. He went from president to prisoner in a single day. Upon arrival, he and Flores were handed over to federal authorities and placed in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. The message was clear: Maduro would face U.S. justice, not political negotiation. No special treatment was given. He was processed like any other high-profile defendant. The world watched, stunned, as a former head of state awaited trial in an American jail. The operation's precision left no room for error or rescue. Maduro's fate was now in the hands of the U.S. legal system. Maduro faces a sweeping U.S. indictment for narco-terrorism and conspiracy to import cocaine. Prosecutors allege he partnered with Colombia's FARC rebels, turning Venezuela into a drug trafficking hub. The charges accuse Maduro of leading the Cartel of the Suns, a network of corrupt officials. Today, Maduro will be arraigned in New York, his first public appearance since capture. The trial is set to be a global spectacle, with immense political and legal implications. The world is watching as a former president faces American justice. With Maduro in custody, President Trump declared the U.S. is now running Venezuela, temporarily, he says, to oversee a transition to stable government. This move positions America as an occupying power, signaling a hands-on approach to Venezuela's future. Central to the plan: control of Venezuela's vast oil reserves. U.S. companies will rebuild the crumbling oil industry, ramping up production and managing sales, profits included. The administration has sidelined Venezuela's opposition leaders, dismissing them as ineffective. Instead, Washington aims to build a new political order aligned with U.S. interests. This approach has shocked both allies and adversaries, creating new uncertainty. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned Cuba and Colombia to be very concerned, hinting at a broader regional strategy. The U.S. sees Maduro's capture as a turning point for Latin America, not an isolated event. The era of direct intervention has begun. The world is deeply divided over the U.S. operation. Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea condemned it as a violation of international law. Cuba was especially outraged. The EU called for restraint while Israel backed the U.S. The UN Security Council convened an emergency session, exposing rifts between global powers. Inside Venezuela, the nation is split. Protests erupt in some areas, celebrations in others. Many see Maduro's removal as liberation. Others call it an illegal invasion. Venezuelan expatriates in places like Florida cheered the news. SpaceX's Starlink is providing free internet, helping citizens bypass censorship and access uncensored news. As the country reels, access to independent information is crucial. Venezuela stands at a crossroads, its future uncertain and its people divided. With Maduro gone, Venezuela faces a power vacuum and an uncertain future. The Supreme Court named Vice President Delcy Rodriguez interim president, while the defense minister declared a state of emergency and called for resistance. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado demands the installation of Edmundo González Urrutia, but the U.S. has dismissed this. The U.S., now managing Venezuela's oil, is reshaping the country to fit its interests, not restoring the old order. The coming weeks will test whether the military and people accept foreign control or resist, risking conflict. The trial of Maduro in New York will be a constant backdrop fueling tension. For ordinary Venezuelans, this is a moment of hope and danger. The world is watching to see if the transition is peaceful or violent. The outcome will shape not just Venezuela, but the region. The nation's future is being written day by day. No one knows how this story will end.